Hello everyone, it's good to be back with you today. We're going to be starting a new series. This series is going to be talking about abundant life. Our lesson for this week is abundant faith, and we're going to go ahead and get into the Word this morning and see what God has in store for us this week. So as we start this lesson, I'm thinking, and maybe you'll think as we go through this, and maybe you'll even want to share in the comments. I don't know if you're the type of person that likes to do that or not, but I was trying to think of a situation where I've been in maybe a scary place and have kind of questioned, do I stay here or do I just get out of the situation? Maybe probably one of the most common things, if you've ever been in a kayak or a canoe, and for whatever reason, maybe it's somebody rocking in the boat, maybe it's a rainstorm, maybe it's something crazy out of nowhere, you start taking on some water, and maybe you try to scoop the water out and you're trying to get it out of the boat and it's just not working. And at some point, probably most of us that have ever ridden in a kayak, we have strongly considered just getting out. The water's not that bad, it's half in the kayak anyway. Maybe you're one of those people. I think in my frame of mind, I'd kind of just rather almost get it over with. And then at least I know when I'm going to go in the water, and it's not going to just be a sudden surprise of I'm trying to stay out of the water, trying to stay out of the water, boom, I'm in the water. So maybe you've had a similar situation, but that's what came to mind as I was thinking and preparing for this lesson of my example. Being in a kayak, you start getting full of water and you have to make that decision. Am I going to stay in the boat and hope everything's okay, or am I just going to get out and maybe try to swim the shore or hang on to the kayak from the outside? So as you look into kind of the main scripture focus for this week is Matthew chapter 8, and talking about Jesus being in the boat with his disciples. There are storms in life that can be kind of similar to that kayak situation almost, where we may be tempted to just bail out instead of bail the stuff out of our life. So we may be tempted to kind of just throw in the towel or whatever the situation may be. But if Jesus is in the boat with us, we should definitely stay. If Jesus is in the boat with us, we have to overcome our fear by putting our faith in him. And that's the lesson of the story in Matthew chapter 8 that we're going to be focusing on this week. So the day of ministry had been exhausting, no doubt, for Jesus. He had taught all of the people that had been following around and throwing around him, and it was kind of just, in Mark's account of this story, Jesus actually invited the disciples to get in the boat and just, let's go to the other side of the lake. I can imagine, as also a human being, he was probably feeling a little bit, okay, I just need to get away a little bit, and maybe, or even more sense just being God, knowing, the disciples probably need a break from this a little bit. So let's just take a ride across the lake. And as soon as they got into the boat, Jesus found a nice spot to settle in, apparently, and he went to take a nap. He took a nice nap, laid his head on a pillow maybe, or a burlap bag, whatever was there, and fell into a deep sleep. So, I'd have to imagine that the disciples probably enjoyed this break too. They probably took this opportunity to talk about what had happened that day. Maybe to talk amongst themselves, like, hey, what did you think when Jesus did this? Like, wow, we weren't expecting that, because he's sleeping, he can't hear us, right? So, let's talk about this a little bit more. So it was a good opportunity for them to get some rest. The day was ending. The pressure of ministry seemed to be kind of over for a little bit. The sun was setting, the lake was cooling, and the sails were flapping gently in the breeze. What a wonderful break from the pressures of ministry. I could say myself, after being involved in a lot of different things on Sunday mornings and throughout the church, for me, Sunday afternoons are just like, I just, try to chill out if I can, not get myself into too many crazy projects, because it's a lot. And so this same experience was happening for Jesus and the disciples, and they took this opportunity. As human beings, periods of rest are important for us. We need a little bit of time to clear our minds and maybe to set some things down and reassess where we are, maybe look at where we've been, and honestly, sometimes just take a break. So we're going to leave this lesson where it is for today. And I hope that whether you're watching this at the beginning of your day or the end of your day, that you'll at least take a few minutes right now and maybe just take a break with Jesus. Take a few minutes in prayer, whatever it is. Set aside the cares of the day, the worries of the day, what's coming or what's been, and just take a break with Jesus. And we'll get back to the lesson tomorrow. Have a good day.